So, Rodica was born in 1940. There's not much information about this case online, so I'm just going to be reading it from the Wikipedia page. I did look to other websites and stuff, but I didn't really see much information besides the Wikipedia page information that was provided. She, as I said, was known as the Poisoner of Maxéville because of the nature of her killings. I think we're going to be talking about 3 of her victims today. And let's just get into it. So she's Romanian, and she is classified as a serial killer. She was captured on December 14th, 1990, for the death of the 82-year-old retired French soldier called Raymond Jacquetel in Nancy. I'm just gonna say Nancy, I'm not gonna pronounce all of the words, I'm sorry. So, and after this first capture of her, she was also investigated for other crimes, which then she was convicted of because of the similar pattern of behavior that she inhibited. As if you watch lots of true crime, you would know that lots of killers, especially serial killers, would go and carry out their killings in a similar pattern with similar behavior, so they would leave a mark of, I was there, I did this, because I think serial killing, like the people who do these crimes, do want attention at some sort. Like if you look at the Zodiac, how, he sent all those letters and stuff to the police, like he wanted attention, he wanted everyone to see that he was behind each person that he unfortunately took the lives of. So yeah, so we have a pattern here with poison. That's why she's called the Poisoner of Maxwell. The bodies were investigated in like coronary, and they all have a toxic substance called digoxin, which is the poison that she uses to kill her victims. And then the two murders after the first, the 2 murders that she initially committed were also echoed with the Romanian community in Tel Aviv, Israel, which brought to attention the existence of the first husband that she had, Herman Goldstein, who also died under suspicious circumstances back in Romania, where she's from. So let's backtrack to the beginning. How was she found? The first crime that they discovered was on December 14th, 1990. The retired soldier Raymond died at 8:30 p.m. at the Nancy Hospital, and they initially thought that he died from a heart attack. Of course, he was like 80 years old or something, 82 years old, and he actually called for help. And after they thought this, it was revealed that Jacquetel had taken out a life insurance with Rodica. So Raymond has taken out life insurance with Rodica, and that obviously connects her in some way. It makes her a suspect because it's a bit suspicious to be taking out 700,000 worth of francs just before he passes away. So he had actually converted all of his savings into treasury bills, about their crimes. Maybe they think it's less visible, like maybe they will suspect less. And there are some poisons that have been used that can't be detected after some time has passed because the liver, I think, like gets rid of them or something. I don't know, don't quote me on that. Anyways, let's move on. So this money that made a connection with Rodica is actually was supposed to be given to Claude. Raymond actually adopted Claude, a public assistant's child, with an intention to be his legatee, which means he was a person to receive his legacy, or chosen to receive the legacy, like he was in his will, basically. But after Raymond met Rodica, their relationship began to disintegrate. The relationship between Raymond and Claude began to disintegrate because Raymond no longer wanted Claude to inherit his house. But even though he didn't want him to inherit the house and probably wanted to give it to Rodica, he still confided in him with the information of where he had hidden the treasury bills and their serial numbers, which was all of his life savings, worth 700,000 francs. A few days after his death, a person came to the post to exchange 3 treasury bills. When faced with the request of the counter to present his identity documents, the man leaves without insisting. Alerted to this incident, the police made the link with the bills being lost the day Raymond Jactel died. Later, he was identified as Roger, Rodica's current companion, by the postman who formerly identified him. It's getting so fishy. Authorities discovered that the life insurance between Jactel and Negroy was signed just 2 months before the retiree's death. The terms of the contract specified a monthly pension of 2,000 francs to be paid to Jactel. Moreover, Negroy had to take care of him until his final days. The neighborhood survey showed that she had been dealing with him for the last 2 years, and that the pensioner was reputed to be an authoritarian and possibly had a hold on Rodica. But was it really the case? 10 days after his burial, Raymond Jactel's body was exhumed and analyses were carried out on his viscera by the Medical Institute of Strasbourg. The analysis revealed that the presence of digoxin and phenobarbital, an antiepileptic drug, which had not been prescribed by the doctor. On the other hand, on August 29th, 1990, 6 months before the pensioner's death, Negroy was prescribed these 2 substances by a pharmacy in Nancy. The investigation showed that after leaving her native Romania and arriving in France, Rodica Negroy married Gerard, just acquired French nationality and obtained the right to receive the money from the insurance policy in the event of her husband's death, which is quite lucky for her. Negroy claimed that he died as a result of excessive drinking, which was mentioned as the cause of death by the doctor. However, the autopsy 4 years after his death determined that Heloy had traces of digoxin on his hair and on the liver. Indeed, the analysis of hair growth demonstrated a chronic consumption of digoxin by Heloy spread over several months. This actually reminds me of another case where this woman used to put poison in this person's tea over time, or was it in a TV show? Maybe it was in Bones. It was a grandmother or something putting little drops of poison and slowly making the person sick so that it would look like they died from an illness that was unexplained, because she used such little amounts and just did it over time, poisoning the person. It doesn't really show that she did it, right? Unless they find the poison hidden in her house or something, on her person. So yeah. So this feature was also found on hair samples taken from Jack Tell. His consumption of digoxin was also chronic, spread over several weeks, as we just said. Following these revelations, Rodica was charged with 2 murders and voluntarily imprisoned at the Charles III prison in Nancy. The similarities between this case and that of Simone Weber resonated with the Romanian community in Tel Aviv, Israel. Thus, by reading the press, Esther Goldstein, the sister of Negroy's first husband, Herman Goldstein, discovered the 2 murders of which her ex-sister-in-law was accused. She contacted the judge in Nancy to inform him of the first marriage in 1982 with their brother, while Rodica and Herman were still living in Romania. At age 51, Goldstein died from a suspicious heart attack. Seems very similar to the other case we looked at. The trial began for her accusations on June 21st, 1999. At the Assise Court of Meurthe et Moselle in Nancy. I totally butchered that. During the trial, Rodica's behavior played against her. She was described as wanting absolute control of the trial, as well as angry when contradicted. Also, I should mention that before this trial, she actually managed to be free for a bit. She was arrested, then she was let go, and then arrested again, kind of thing. She also attacked, threatened, and insulted the witnesses. The president of the tribunal allowed the Heloy family's lawyer to say the truth, thus lowering the defendant's defenses. Thus, she fell into a trap. Claude, the heir chosen by Raymond Jactel, we mentioned him in the beginning, finally admitted to having cashed the 700,000 francs on the day of the death. He presented the serial numbers of the coupons. This revelation was likely to invalidate the motive of the defendant to murder Jactel, and thus led to an acquittal. But Rodica made the mistake of exploding with anger when dealing